Unknowingly, the Edgewolves of the Feichi family have come out of the third generation. The first two generations made a lot of splashes in the 100 yuan market. The third generation of Edgewolf can only be seen from the appearance, compared with the previous two generations. It seems to be about the same. Then the question arises. In the case of no change in appearance, what are the improvements of the third generation of direwolves? Although the appearance of the handle is not much different, but there is still a big difference in packaging. This time, Edgewolf 3 finally uses the follow-up. Other products of the home are packaged in the same grade. It doesn't make users look too much when looking at the box. The receiver is included in the cheap box. As for the appearance of the handle, I took out the second generation Edge and compared it with you. This is the front, a little darker. Foam tubes were also cancelled. This is the back. The biggest difference is that the grip has a deeper texture. The top can be said to be exactly the same. To be honest, I was also a little confused. What has changed in this Edgewolf 3? I didn't realize until I got it, although the two are very similar in appearance. But in terms of feel, the difference is not very big. Really, after all, the mold is the same. Next, the visual perception is also completely consistent. In terms of buttons, the APXY action key has been upgraded to a large light silicone button. The feel has been slightly improved, all the functionality, and the buttons are still National Films. And the feel of the arrow key to the trigger has not changed much. It wasn't until I turned the joystick that I noticed the biggest difference. That is, Direwolf 3 actually used non-made self-developed levers. The joystick is much better than the second generation. I believe that students who understand the flying control lever should know, although it seems like just an upgraded stick. But the improvement of the handbar is really huge. The overall smoothness is really good. In particular, the uniformity of the force is very nice. For students who have never experienced flying with a lever joystick, this is definitely a good opportunity to get on the car at the lowest price. In addition to improving the feel, there has also been great progress in parameters. The most important thing is the accuracy of returning to the center. Edgewolf 3 returns to the no-death mode. The accuracy can be stabilized within 1%. This performance can be said to be very good, and the leverage of the flying system must also be felt. Only by virtue of the mechanical structure has achieved such a sky-defying level. It does not apply any algorithmic assistance, and the experience is better than the algorithm scheme. In addition to this, the rate of return is achieved both in wired and wireless conditions. 1000 Hz. The 250 Hz resolution, which is much higher than the second generation, also reaches 500 G. This performance is completely sufficient even for FPS games. Of course, it's like a button mapping somatosensory. Functions such as standalone setting and vibration setting can still be done in the flying space station. Further setting, 2 back keys, can be set to red or even the mouse wheel. But more advanced facilities like Black Warrior and Slapfish, the Edgewolf still doesn't support it. But the better thing is, compared with the second generation Edgewolf 3, it finally supports Android mapping. Truly multi-platform. This is for players who play Android games that do not natively support controllers. Undoubtedly good news. In terms of tuning, this time the joystick of Edgewolf 3, the default no dead setting center point is also used. Very silky. There is no cross shape to die. The outer ring adopts a rounded tuning, and the error rate is about 7%. Rocker with automatic calibration. If you don't operate for 3 seconds, the joystick automatically calibrates the center point to 0, and the trigger is a linear trigger. The cross-key test did not show any string connections. Next, let's take a look at the specific performance of the Edgewolf in the game. The handle supports 3-mode connection. You can switch between X input and D input connection modes. The vibration of the handle is much more delicate than that of the previous generation. The main reason is that the motor has been upgraded to the same model as the Black Warrior 4 Pro. Asymmetric radical motor lifting does not pick the platform at all. After turning it on, it can be used directly. Very convenient. Finally, simply disassemble the machine in order to end the cost. The battery is not protected by a separate battery compartment and is stuck to the motherboard. The battery has a capacity of 800 mAh. After all, the controller has no RGB at all, and it can be played for more than 10 hours. Not a problem. The trigger is the Hall Trigger ABXY action key, which uses conductive traffic bills. The floating pivot cross key has also been completely inherited. Cross key, the shoulder button and the back button are all used this big tactile switch. The joystick is a lever developed by the flying system. Joystick, It uses the same model as Black Knight 4, it's just that the gear that adjusts the damping is cut off. The other structures are exactly the same as the materials used. Can be seen, the flight system is really interesting this time. Many modules even achieve the same level as the Black 54. The most important thing is that Edge Wolf 3 is cheaper, with a starting price of $189. If you look at it in summary, the biggest difference between Edge Wolf 3 and the previous generation is that the decentralization of its own leverage stick supports Android mapping. It also provides a more affordable option for mobile game players. In any case, the initial price of 189 yuan allows Edge Wolf 3 to be in. The price of 100 yuan still maintains a very strong competitiveness. Functionality aside, it's just excellent workmanship and feel. Can make you smart fares. If you don't have Edge Wolf 2 in your hand, then Edge Wolf 3 is still the best choice at this price point. But then again, if you already have Edges, if the second child doesn't play mobile games, I personally feel that I can really wait for the next generation.